Okay, so good morning, everyone. Um, what we are doing today is basic, but then whether or not someone passes or fails FM or SFM depends on this. Um, four things, maybe five. Four things, maybe five. You do in the entirety of this course FM or SFM for those are the professional. And these four things are essentially the reasons why students have problems in FM or SFM. You see, FM too hard, SFM too hard, and all that revolves around these four things. Number one is discounting. Discounting. Number two is compounding. Compounding. Number three is annuity. Annuity. The fourth one is perpetuity. So I'll explain these concepts. As he already knows, I'm not the kind of person that defines things. I explain things so you'll understand and you can explain them also in your own terms or in your own way. It's just definition is words, add this word to the other word and add this word to the other word, and you can express or define a thing without actually understanding the thing. And I believe in more in understanding it. That's why I'm always my lectures are based on principles. I'll teach you the principles that make you understand what we are doing at every point in time. So if you approach a bank today that you need let's say 100,000 naira. They know they can't get the money today. They will get the money when? In the future. It's undefined, but then it is in the future. For them, what they will do is compounding. They want to know the 100,000 naira they give you today, how much in terms of naira will they get from it in the future? So what they are getting from you in the future will be dependent on two factors. Number one, the annual interest or the monthly interest or the quarterly interest. So the periodic interest they get. Are we there? Then number two, the actual money they give to you. The interest we know is the return on what they give to you. What they give to you is called the principal. Are we there? Correct. So that is compounding. They want to know the future value of what they gave you in the present. So to get the future value of an amount in the present is called compounding. And how do you compound? For simple interest, they say, oh, the rate times the principal is the interest. The rate times principal is the interest. If it is 10%, we are using 1,000 naira. If it is 1,000 naira, this is the principal. Let's say the interest is 10%, so 10% equal to interest. What then will be the annual interest, assuming it is yearly? The annual interest will be 10% of what? 1,000 naira. This will be 10 over 100 times 1,000 naira. I love making things look like. So this will be 10 times 10, which is what? 100 naira. This is the interest. So assuming it is not a compounded interest, there is a difference between compound interest and simple interest. Simple interest is every year the interest is the same. It is calculated on the principal. Compound interest is when the interest of the previous years are added to the principal in order to compute subsequent interests. Are you getting me? The interest of the previous years are added to the principal in order to compute the what? Subsequent what? Interest. So as it is now, every year, simple interest is 100 naira. if they are to do compound interest, this is the interest for year one. The interest for year two will be now based on this principal plus this previous year's interest. Then you now compute the interest on 1,100 as the what? Principal. Is that okay? Correct. So that is the foundation of compounding. So assuming it's simple interest, this is clear. If it is compounding, the compounding factor, of course, this one, the interest, the compounding factor, the interest factor is 10% straight down. But if it is compounding, the interest factor or the compounding factor for compounding, how do we then compute it? It's equal to, we have 1 plus r raised to the power of n. This is the compounding factor. This is like the 10%. So if, for instance, we said it is 10%, we want to get the amount. Remember, in this case now, the amount we eventually get will be equal to 1,000 naira plus 100 naira, being what? 1,100, as we have established earlier. So 1,000 plus, 100 plus 1,000. So if it's 1 year, the bank will get 100 naira interest from you plus what? 1,000 naira. So they will eventually get what? 1,100. Simple what? Interest. If it is compound interest, what will they get? Assuming it is for a year. Compound interest, this is the interest factor. This is how you compute the interest. That's what you use to now multiply with the principal. Remember, for this one, it is interest is equal to principal times rate, straight down. So we want to get the rate here. So this will eventually be, assuming this is 10% and it is 1 year, 10% and it is what? 1 year. We have, this is the rate. R is what? R is rate. So if R is rate, and let's say this is N is number of years. So what you compound with as the compounding factor, assuming this is 10%, assuming the rate is 10%, and the number of years is just 1 year, what we have is 1 plus 0.1, this is 10%, to the power of what? 1. So this will eventually be equal to 1.1 to the power of what? 1. And this is the same thing as 1.1. This is the compounding factor. We now use this compounding factor to multiply the principal in order to know the amount we will get. Is that okay? So the amount will be 1.1 times, okay, let me use the compounding factor. Compounding factor multiplied by the principal. So this will be 1.1 times, the principal is what? 1,000. This is equal to what? 1,100. So this is the first thing. Whether you use simple interest, you use compound interest, first thing will always be the same. Let's try this for second year. In year 2, which means N will change to what? 2 years. R is still 10%. So in that situation, let's say 2 years, this is 2 years loan or facility. So this will make our R still 10%, N equal to what? 2. Therefore, our compounding factor will be equal to 1 plus 0.1, as we said, raised to power what? 2. This will be equal to 1.1 raised to power what? 2. Use your calculators, get 1.1 raised to power 2. This is where it starts. This is where it starts. I just hope this thing is working. So 1.1 raised to power 2. Now, how do you press 1.1 to power 2? Okay, there is 2 there, x to power 2, right? Correct. When we get to 3, we'll know how we get to go about 3, and 4, and 5, and 7. So what is it? 1.1, 1.21. So 1.21. This is the compounding what? Factor. This is the compounding factor. Remember, I told you that the amount you get, which is the amount is actually the principal plus the interest. Are we there? So the amount we get is equal to the compounding factor multiplied by what? The principal. So this will be equal to 1.21 multiplied by what? 1,000. This will be equal to 1,200 and what? 10. Now, you see that, remember, under simple interest, every year the interest is what? 100. This is now 2 years. 10 naira is now added. Why is 10 naira added? The interest on 10%, right? 10% interest on 1,000 naira is what? 100 for the first year. Is that okay? And 100 for the second year. Are we there? Now, for the second year, remember, there's another 100 in the first year that added. That 100 naira, 10% of it is what? 10 naira. So you have, in years 1, you have just 100 naira. Because in year 1, the principal is what? 1,000. In year 2, the principal, I told you that the interest of the previous year will be added to the principal in order for us to compute using compound interest. Is that okay? So in year 2, we have 1,000 as a principal plus another 100 as a principal. Are we there? So 10% of this 1,000 is what? 100. Are we there? And 10% of this 100 is what? 10. Is that okay? So you end up having this 200 plus 10 being your 210. So that is how that's the philosophy behind this 210, and that's the philosophy behind compounding. Is that okay? Now let us assume that it is 3 years. 3 years. Is that okay? Please help me. Do for 3 years. Just the compound factor between here to here, assuming that it is 3 years. So what we are saying is assuming that we have R equal to 10%, N equal to 3. Use the same formula, which is 1 plus R to the power of N. 1.331. Is it the chorus answer? As in uniform answer? 1.331. Okay, so we are saying that the compound factor is equal to 1.331. Therefore, our amount will be equal to compound factor multiplied by principal. That is 1.331 multiplied by 1,000. This will be equal to 1,331. Are we there? Okay. This is how I start SFM or FM. Like I told you, A is always simpler than what? B. Because A is just straight line, straight. B is more difficult because B has streets and curve and curve. C is even much more because you may not be able to get any straight line. So your curve may be just zigzag. Everything is just curve. So that is it. So that is it. This is it. So this is compounding. So when they say compound so amount with so value for so years, compound so amount with so years using so rates. The simple thing you do is your amount is equal to the principal multiplied by 1 point or 1 plus r raised to the power of what? N. This is the straight down formula. That's what you have been doing all this while. Amount equal to P 1 plus r to the power of n. Is that okay? So this is what? Compounding. You want to know the future what? Value of an amount. Is that okay? That is, so to say, simple. But look at it. What is it? It is the compound factor multiplied by the what? Principal. Let us assume that that principal is called cash flow. So the initial cash flow multiplied by the compounding what? Factor, or the compound factor. Is that okay? That is simple. So from what we have done, to get the future value or to compound, all you need to do is the principal, which is the initial outflow, initial cash outflow, multiplied by the compound what? Factor. Watch this compound factor. It is positive. The n is positive. So it is multiplied. Is that okay? Is that okay? Correct. This is compounding. It's normally this easy. But if you don't get the foundation, that's where you become confused. So, okay, you want to take things down. You can, no issues. The next thing we do is, of course, discounting. Take it down. No issues. Like I've told him, one of the challenges I've always had is using the board. Wherever I see space, I just write. I don't. I'm from the family of teachers, but then me, that element of board management is an issue, but I can take time to teach. But then board management, wow, wow, wow. So can we continue? Okay. So by the way, if I ask you, you are with a calculator, right? Not a phone. A phone. Oh. Are you with a calculator? Okay. So if I say you guys should compute to get for 4 years, how what would you have done with your calculator? That's what I wanted to teach you. But you don't have, because to power 4 to power 5, how do you go about it? So this is it. You press the amount. Okay, first you get the discount factor or the compound factor. To get the compound factor, you have for this 4 years will be 1.1. You press second function, then you see this inverted V sign. Check your calculator, you see inverted V. Is it there? So press 1.1, second function, then press that inverted V, then press 4. So what is it? 1 point, okay. So 1.4641. This is for year 4. Were you able to get it? No, because you are using the phone. No, the phone should even have scientific calculator. Turn it, let me see the phone. Let me see. That's it now. Okay, it doesn't have that sign. Let me see. Okay. You can use, yeah, it doesn't really have. You can use x to the power of y. So let me see, 1.1 x to the power of y, then 4 equal to, yeah, x to the power of y. Is it, yeah, x to the power of y. So that's it. Okay. So that's the way you go about it. Are we there? This is compounding. The other is discounting. You know, treasury bills, they do discounting for treasury bills. You know, treasury bills, you've heard at least. Government wants some money short term, so they will ask you guys to contribute money and give to them, and you get interest. That's invariably what they are doing with treasury bills. So you're actually financing government, and it's actually quarterly. They pay you quarterly. So, for instance, for a 10,000 naira treasury bills, let's say the rate is 10%. Government will say, okay, 10% is for the year. So for the quarter, it should be 2.5%. So you are supposed to give us 10,000 naira, but then take 2.5% upfront. So you will take 250 naira. I hope I'm right. 250 naira. Yes. So you take 250 naira. You give government 9,750 naira. At the end of 3 months, government will give you 10,000 naira. So that's like they pay you upfront. You discount it. So what then is discounting? Remember when we talked about the non-discounting techniques, I told you that non-discounting techniques don't actually consider the time value of money. You don't actually consider the time value of money. The implication is that if, like payback period, if somebody gives you 10,000 naira today, his interest is, let it be that by the time you are paying him back, you are able to pay back his 10,000 naira. Is that okay? You will consider the fact that if he gives me 10,000 naira or gives you 10,000 naira today, in 3 years' time, 10,000 naira can no longer be 10,000 naira. That 10,000 naira will, my father is a pensioner. He served with Rivers State government. His pension, he got retired 2010. After working for close to 35 years. His pension is about 1.2 million naira. You can imagine how paltry the sum is as a teacher. Up to now, he has not taken the money. Now, they've not given him his gratuity. Now, imagine the value of 1.2 million naira 2010. Consider it now. A bag of cement then was about 800 naira. A bag of cement right now is about 10,000 naira. So you can imagine, they will still give you their money now. They will still give you their money, fine. But with the money they are giving you is small compared to if they are giving it to you then. So the concept of time value of money revolves around the fact that a given amount today is worth more than that same amount in the future. A given amount today is worth more than that same amount in the what future. Somebody tells you, I'll give you 10,000 naira today. That 10,000 naira the person is giving you today is worth more than somebody giving you 10,000 naira in a year's time. The reason being that it will take more for you to buy anything you can buy with 10,000 naira today. It will take more for you to buy that same thing in the future. So if I'm able to buy this marker for 10,000 naira today, in 2 years time I may require 14,000 naira to buy this same what marker, and that shows that the money you are using, the currency you are using, is losing its what value. You require more of money to buy the same item as time goes by. That is the philosophy behind time value of money. That means money is more valuable today than it can be to you tomorrow. That means money is more valuable today to you today. So if I'm giving you 5,000 naira, and let's say you are giving me 6,000 naira in a year's time, and today I can buy this marker with 5,000 naira, but in a year's time I cannot buy marker, this same marker, with the 6,000 naira you will give to me. It goes to show that the 6,000 naira you are giving to me in 1 year's time is of lesser value than the 5,000 naira I'm giving to you today. I don't know if you are getting me. I give you 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira. I can exchange that 5,000 naira for marker today. But you say, yes, give me 5,000, I'll give you 6,000 next year. And when next year comes, I'm not able to buy this same marker with that 6,000. I would rather say, no, I will buy marker. What do you want to do that 5,000 with that 5,000? I want to use it to buy a bag of cement. Okay, I'll buy a bag of cement today for you. Is that okay? In a year's time, kindly buy a bag of cement for me. It means that I am reserving my value. There is no profit in it. Maybe in a year's time, you will take the 8,000 naira to even buy that bag of cement for me, and you say, that was when I buy na 5,000. How you no concern me. That is me conserving my value. Are you getting me now? So under discounting, we want to know the present value, the current value of future cash flows. Remember, under compounding, we are looking at the future value of a present cash outflow. Are you getting me? Now we are looking at the present value of future, the money you will give to me next year. What will be its worth if I am comparing it or considering it or relating it to today's value? I don't know if you are getting me. So that is what discounting does. And to be honest with you, if you are a finance person or you know finance to the point of knowing it, that you are knowing it now, when you are giving somebody money, you shouldn't just consider, I'm giving somebody 5,000 naira, they borrow 5,000, she will give me 1 year time. No, don't do that. Except maybe you are just being liberal. Because after all the quarrel, the 5,000 you will still get will not be as valuable as the 5,000 you've given out. And you will still quarrel on it, possibly. Okay. So that is the point we are making, and that is what we do. So you can imagine that what we are doing now is like the opposite of what we have done. Like discounting is the opposite of what? Compounding. And it means that if under compounding we multiplied, under discounting, what do you think we should do? We will divide. If under compounding we multiplied, under discounting we will what? We will divide the principal, which of course in time coming we will consider it as cash flow. We will divide the principal by the compounding factor. So how are we going about it? Say, let's say you are expecting 1,000 naira. Let's say you are expecting what? 1,000 naira in a year's time. Are we there? You are expecting 1,000 naira in when? A year's time. If the discount factor is 10%, so years one, am I right? Rate is what? 10%. You are expecting 1,000 naira in a year's time. If the principal is no, you are expecting 1,000 naira in a year's time. If the rate is 10%, let us find the cash flow, or let us find the present value of the cash flow. So the 1,000 naira you are expecting in a year's time, what is its current what value? What do you think? Will it be higher or lower? In a year's time, somebody will give you what? 1,000 naira. What is the value of that future 1,000 naira in today? Will it be higher or lower? It will be what? She said lower. All man for himself. Will it be higher or lower? Correct? Me, I won't disagree with anybody. You. Lower. Okay. Look. Compounding. Discounting is the opposite of what? Compounding. You are not static. Under compounding, was it higher or lower? So under discounting, it should be what? Under compounding, we multiplied. Under discounting, we should do what? It's as simple as that. That is the philosophy behind it. What I'm saying is that what's 1,000 next year? What you will buy with 1,000 next year, you will buy with a lesser amount when today. We are looking at the present value of the 1,000 you would get in the what? Future. It should actually be what? Lower. Because maybe something you buy with 800, by next year it will be what? 1,000. So next year you will spend more. So today it will be what? Lower. We are looking at the present value of something, a cash that we will receive in the what? Future. So you go normal class, SFM class or FM class, they will tell you, oh, it is the cash flow or the principal. It is equal to cash flow 1.1 to the power of minus n. How is this coming about? It is still based on the division I talked about. So what are we doing? We said we have an amount we are expecting in the future. An amount we are expecting in the future, and it is what? 1,000 naira. The years or tenure or time or duration, so let's say years is equal to 1. Then we said the rate is what? 10%. What is the present what? Value. So the present value, now we are talking about valuation. Now you cannot value without discounting. Anything about valuation or everything about valuation revolves around discounting. So we are going deeper in it. So the value or the present value, let's say PV. PV means what? Present value will be equal to 1,000 divided by 1. Let me see, remove this. is equal to the future value, which is the value we are getting in the future, 1,000 naira. Is that okay? Divided by 1 plus rate, then n. 1 plus rate to the power of n. This is how you discount the future value divided by 1 plus r. So if you look at this, the denominator is the same as this. Am I right? Am I right? Is it the same? Correct. But here, instead of multiplying, we are doing what? Dividing. Are we there? Correct. Now, this will mean equal to future value multiplied by, or future value multiplied, or let me put it in bracket, 1 all over 1 plus r to the power of n. Am I right? Because this times 1 is still fv. Am I right? Correct. The next is, if this is correct, I don't know whether it's the fourth or the fifth law of indices that talks about this. As it is, we can transpose. So instead of this, for instance, that will tell you that 1 over n is the same thing as n to the power of minus 1. You know that, right? So, correct. So this entire thing, which is 1 all over 1 plus rn, is the same thing as 1 plus r to the power of minus n. This is it. Is that okay? So what we have done is, this entire bracket is the same thing as this, and what we have here is the same thing as this. So we can have our PV as being equal to our FV, then multiplied by 1 plus r to the power of minus what? N. So most times I tell people, the difference, as you can see, between discounting and compounding is, here we have n, here we have what? Minus n. But how did the minus n come about? Most guys don't even know, but this is it. It is under the law of indices. So this is it, or division. So this is it. This is discounting. This is how we discount. Now, if this is it, we are still coming back here. We are saying this is the future value or amount. Let's make it future value. So this is the future value, 1,000 naira. So this is equal to 1,000 naira multiplied by 1 plus 0.1 minus what? 1 year. Am I right? So this is equal to 1,000 naira 1.1 to the power of minus 1. This will be equal to 1.1 to the power of minus 1. 1.1, press that xy, then minus 1. For you, press 1.1, then shift or second function, you press that inverted V, then minus 1. What was it? 909. There's a difference between O and 0. So we have 1000 multiplied by 0.909. This will be equal to what? 909 naira. Is it what all of you got? 909. This is learning compounding and discounting, discounting and compounding. People should pay particular interest to discounting because everything will revolve around discounting. So let's assume that every information is the same, but the number of years now is what? 3. You people should do it. Every information is the same. So this is changing from -1 to what? -3. Do it. Please, what are your answers? 751. Let me hear him. Oga, what's your answer? Okay, 2 is what? 826. That's correct. Okay, so that's correct. We don't have issues with that. Okay. Now, if I ask you to do it on the schedule, say years 1, 2, 3, it means for that 1000 naira, you have discount factor. So DCF. So this thing, this 0.909 you got is called discount factor. Remember, I said this is compound factor. Is that okay? This is what? A discount factor. It means that when you did for 2, you got 0.826. For year 3, you got 0.751. Am I right? So you got 0.909, 0.826, 0.791. Using that same 1000, it means the present values you got were 909 naira, 826 naira, 751 naira. Am I right? These are the 3. Assuming you want to use your calculator to press without pressing after year 1, you have to go back to press year 2. You want to just press, you just keep pressing and you get the same, you just get 909, 826, 751, 683, 628, like that. 593. I think I'm getting it. I think that's it. This is what you press. 1 equal to divided by 1.1. The first equal to you press will give you 909. The second equal to you press will give you 826. The third equal, is it giving you? The third one you press will give you, that's why I told you come with your calculator, will give you this. In an examination situation, you don't have all the time in the world to, you press first one, you clean it. You press second one, you clean it. You don't have all the time in the world. You want to do it express. So you press this, the first one will give you the second. Now this is the rate. If for instance the rate is 15%, watch. Assuming the rate is 15%, it will be 1.15. Assuming it's 12%, it will be 1.12. Assuming it is 8%, it will be 1.08. Clear? Correct. So this will give you express in an examination situation. So this is the second thing. This is discounting, ladies and gentlemen. The third I want us to do is annuity. Annuity. As I said, me, I no dey do anything like definition. You go and limit yourself with your definition. Me, I will expand it by what? Explaining. You limit yourself by what? Definition. Definition actually defines you. It confines you. So I will expand you by explaining. So the third I said we are looking at is what? Correct. So under annuity, we are saying you do ajo. You know what they call ajo? Contribution. Maybe every Sunday, you contribute money, 100,000 for somebody. Maybe you are in a group of committee of friends or social ladies. Ladies do that in a lot. Quarrel, fight, drag other issues that are unrelated to the main purpose of their adjoining. So you contribute money, you give to one person to support her. The next week, they will cook food and eat and contribute money and give. Or maybe you do any contribution where you regularly pay money. So annuity is actually the payment of or the receipt of steady cash flow at the same amount at the same intervals. So if for instance there is somewhere I'm paying money 100,000 monthly every month, and I expect that 100,000 from now to maybe 4 years. That is what an annuity. If you took loan and the bank has said, okay, this loan you took, we'll divide it into 3 years, that is 36 months. They've computed the interest and you are supposed to pay the same amount. They will remove it from your salary for the 36 months. That is called what? Annuity. Is that okay? Steady cash flow at steady intervals. The same cash flow at the same interval. Equal cash flow at equal what? Intervals for a defined period. Assuming the period is not defined, then it is called perpetuity. That is from now till forever. Those who buy shares in organizations, they are expecting perpetuity. Cash flows will come in as much as that company exists. Are we there? It's perpetuity. As Dangote is on the perpetuity mission, what he will continue to rake from Dangote will outlive him. That's perpetuity. But here we are talking about what? Annuity. You give money to a company and maybe they say, okay, we use this your money you have given to us as loan, we'll pay you like this. Every month and we'll pay you this. In 4 years' time, we are finished paying you. So, equal cash flow, equal intervals, defined time frame, defined maybe 4 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 6 years, it has ended. That is called what? Annuity. Annuity is also discounting. Discounting is inside annuity. So under annuity, the way you get your present cash flow or present value, sorry, your present value is the initial cash flow or the cash flow multiplied by the annuity factor. AF is annuity factor, CF is cash flow. So this is cash flow annuity factor. I've talked about three factors now: compounding factor, discounting factor, and what? Annuity factor. So the problem students face, of course, I don't know, your exams, they are likely to give you an annuity table. If anyone can, you have data, you can Google and find annuity table and download it. But just if annuity table is not given to you, how do you compute your annuity? How do you find your annuity factor? Your annuity factor. Remember, when we did 10%, we got years 1, 2, 3. The discount factor was 0.909, 0.826, 0.751. Am I right? Yes. Just if I'm not right, confirm. You confirm that I'm right. So this is it. If we are doing annuity factor, because we know that the cash flow is steady, instead of doing this by 1,000, this by 1,000, this by 1,000, you will take 1,000 and add all of this. X times X times X times X times X times X, 7x. You say X to the power of what? 7 instead of. So we take 1,000 and multiply what? By 1, 2, 3. So what annuity factor will give us for 3 years will be equal to the sum of these same discount factors. That's the point I'm making. So what's the annuity factor? Does anyone know the formula for annuity factor? Jesus. This course has a lot to do with formulas. But there is nothing strange about formula. The first time where I drive enter GRA for this life, wetin I see, this Port Harcourt GRA, not this in Zimiro. Even this one sef I dey lost sometimes. But the first time I enter GRA, shade no gree me. And na so I was around Woji Road in GRA. I wanted to go to SBS, that's Captain Leche Amadi Polytechnic. I circle. I don't know. And I didn't ask anybody. I just enter one road. Okay, anywhere this road go, I will go with this road. Where I came out from is, Royal House of Grace around my 4. Does anyone know Royal House of Grace around my 4? Ikoro Road, close to that flyover around close to that College of Health Technology flyover, Ikoro Road. Na there I go come out before I begin find my way, because I no wan ask question. Now the thing about formula is like that road. You can only get familiar to a terrain you move frequently. If I teach you a formula today and you say you no go use am solve anything, you store it in the book as it is. The next time you want to use that formula, you also look at that book. But if you are somebody that will use that formula frequently, you use it, the thing will automatically stick in your head. That is the way it is with me GRA now. I don lost for GRA. I don sabi road for GRA. So there is nowhere in GRA I no go fit pass go where I dey go. Last year I was in Lagos. I dey lost scatter. You see, I'll be even looking at map will say straight. I'll go straight still. Suddenly, of the straights, one is going like this. So one is gradually, good morning. One is gradually slanting towards the right. Another one is, yes, still on the straight path. I'll just use my instinct, follow here, I don lost. I'll just use my instinct, follow straight, I don lost, because I didn't know the path. But consistent use of the road around will eventually make me understand the path. That is how it is with formula. Before you finish FM, the formula you use may be up to 30. Of course, in the examination, they will give you some formula. But if you've been using these formula, you won't need to use the formula that they will provide. So don't rely. In fact, it's not even all the formula they will give to you, and you won't even know the formula they will give to you. So you go into the exam knowing everything, being fully equipped. That's the way you go into the. When I wrote my SFM exam, I never consulted the formula at the back of the sheet. The point I'm making is, I'll give you an annuity factor formula right now, but then it will be up to you to use it so that you will get familiar with it. Excuse me. So annuity formula is 1. It starts with 1. 1, 2, 3. It starts with 1 minus discount factor. Where is the discount factor? This. 1 minus the discount factor. So 1 minus 1 plus r raised to the power of what? All over r. This is the formula for annuity factor. 1 minus discount factor all over rates. So if you know the discount factor, it's easier for you. 1 minus discount factor all over rates. Are we there? So let's say we want to get the annuity factor for 3 years. We want to get the annuity factor 3 years. R is 10%. N is the number of years. We have established that. R is the rate. Is that okay? So let's say we want to get annuity factor 3 years, 10%. What it will give us is equal to 1 minus 1 plus 0.1 being the 10% minus how many years? 3. All over the rate is what? 0.1. That's the rate. Are we there? So this will be equal to 1. Remember, what we are working on is annuity factor. So annuity factor equal to 1 minus 1.1. Sorry, 1.1 to the power of what? Minus 3. All over what? 0.1 equal to 1 minus 1.1 to the power of minus 3 is this. Try it. Because this is the annuity factor. Look at it. This is the annuity factor for year 3, which people did. Is this. If you want to try it. Equal to 1 minus this is what? 0.49 divided by 0.1. It should be 2. 0.249 what? So it's 2.249. So okay, so this is 2.490. Always work it down to at least 3 decimal places. Is that okay? So ordinarily it should be 490. 49, fine. But I intentionally put the 0 so that it will get in you that consciousness of getting the decimals to the 3rd place. because this is it, same decimal. Now, I don't know. Just add this, let's see. Because I told you that this annuity factor will be the same as the sum of the individual discount factors. Three, 486. Fine. You know why it resulted in it. Can you give me a reason why when you summed it up you got 2.486 and here we got 2.49? Correct, it's approximation. What you lost is 0.02. This is 0.02. Yes, that's what we lost, and it's as a result of approximation. This was actually supposed to be 0.9091. I know that this was also approximated, this was also approximated, so that is it. So now, you know, before we did 1000 we got 909,826, that is 751, 751, 826,000, 909,000. If we add what we got, it will be the same thing as 1000 times this. So this is the annuity factor. Ordinarily, so if in an examination situation, this is 1000 naira cash flow, steady 1000 naira periodically paid for 5 years, get the present value. What they are telling you is, since it is 1000 naira every year for 5 years, it is annuity. In examination situation, the examiner will find it difficult to tell you that it is annuity. Are you getting me? It is the nature of the cash flow that will make you know whether or not it is what annuity. When you see 1000 naira, 1000 naira, 1000 naira, 1000 naira, 1000 naira as cash flow on a yearly basis, year 1 1000, year 2 1000, year 3 1000, or January 1000, February 1000, nobody should tell you that it is what annuity. Are we there? So that's the third one, annuity. So assuming we are working with this question where we are receiving 1000 naira annually, with this is the cash flow, with the rate being 10% and number of years being n equal to 3. It means that the present value of that cash flow will be the present value of that cash flow. I told you it is equal to the cash flow multiplied by what? Annuity factor. So it will be 1000 multiplied by this annuity factor, 2.490. So this will be 2 4 no yeah 2490. So that's it. All these ones now introduction. First of all, introduction. That's what we are doing, because the question is coming that will gather all these. That's so the third concept we have looked at is what? Annuity. First is compounding, second is discounting, third is annuity, fourth will be perpetuity, perpetuate. That's what Dangote should be thinking about. Perpetuity, create a business. Of course, the underlying reason is that the business is a going concern, so it will never end. As far as it never ends, it means that your own cash inflows will never end. So you want to know what's the present value of all the cash inflows I will get from this investment over 4 years time, over its lifetime. I hope this thing is still recording. Oh boy. Okay, so that is annuity. The last of these is what? Perpetuity. Perpetuity means we are dealing with a cash flow that will never cease. Imagine that. Cash flows that will never cease. You are just there. The money is still coming, coming. From now till when? Forever. Formula for perpetuity is as difficult as this. Watch it on the board. Formula for perpetuity or perpetuity factor. Perpetuity factor will give you the formula for will give you the perpetuity factor, will give you the factor with which you multiply cash flow for you to get the present value of that unending cash flow. It is equal to 1. I don't know why everything they start with 1. 1 divided by R. That's the perpetuity factor. As simple as it is. You see, as simple as it is, when you no use them, you go know. That's when you don't use it frequently. You ask yourself, what is perpetuity factor? You see all these formulas, I'm just dishing it out. So perpetuity factor is what? The formula for perpetuity factor? 1 over R. This will give you, like I told you, you use the discount factor or the compound factor to multiply the principal in order to get the future value. You use the discount factor to multiply the principal or the future cash flow in order to get the what? Present value. You use the perpetuity discount annuity factor to multiply future cash flows to get the present value. You also use the perpetuity factor to multiply the future cash flows in order to get the present value. If I have a perpetuity, I want to know if in 100 years time I will get 1,000 naira. What is the present value of 1,000 naira? It may be as small as 10 kobo. It may be as small as even 100 naira or maybe 1 naira. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's now looking difficult to you. What people were buying with 10 naira, let's say 1981, 1981, the USD was less than naira. So $1 was less than what? A naira. Was about 0.7 something naira to a US dollar. So you pay, if you are getting dollar, the dollar is more expensive. Sorry, naira was more expensive relative to the what? Dollar. In that 1981, I am sure that you can get a car for, let's say, 10,000 naira. My church bought land in 1981 around Rumalogo. I was looking through the records and I saw 1,000 naira for a plot of land. 10 plots of land, 10,000 naira. 10 plots of land, 10,000 naira. Today, that same place, one plot of land is like 20 million naira. I'm not lying to you. That same place, go there, a plot of land is 20 million naira. It means that if we are looking at that treasure, this between 1989 and now, it's about 36 years. In 36 years, 20 million naira is like 1,000 naira. I don't know if you are getting me. So it's possible that in 100 years, did I even say 100,000 naira? So you can imagine what it will look like. So you want to know, this year, next year I will have 1,000 naira. What's the value today? 909. Going by this. The following year, I'll get 1,000 naira. What's the present value of 1,000 naira I'll get in 2 years? It is what? 826 naira. The present value of 1,000 naira I will get in 3 years is what? 751. I think the next one is 683. Then 626 or thereabout. Then 593 or thereabout. Like that, like that. As the years are going, you see that this is getting lower and lower and lower. Is that okay? But he wants to get the present value of all of them from now to forever. What do? PF, perpetuity factor, is equal to 1 divided by what? The rate. It's as simple as that. If we are using 10%, you do, if we are using 10%, you have 1 divided by 0.1. It is equal to what? 10. That's the perpetuity factor, incidentally. If you are using 8%, it will be 1 divided by 0.08. That's what? It can't be 8. You think because this one is 10, that will be 8. 12.5. If you are using 12%, then it should be 1 all over 0.12. It's 8 point what? 1 all over 8.33. So this is our perpetuity factor. So I tell you, if in an exam they told you that Mr. A is an investor, he has invested his assets, or he has invested in Dangote PLC. He has invested 1,000 naira in Dangote PLC, which has guaranteed him steady cash flow of 1,000 naira from now till forever. If the discount rate, or if the rate is 10%, or let's say if the rate is 8%, determine the present value of his cash flows. What they are telling you is perpetuity. He has invested in Dangote, and his cash flows will be coming from now to what? Forever. Assuming we have established that that cash flow will be steady at 1,000 naira, what will be the present value of that amount? You don't know. You cannot draw a table from here around the world and begin to take discount factor, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 100, year 1,000, year 1 million. You are doing discount factor, then you begin to get the 1,000, then you begin to multiply. From now till you grow old, you are still computing, you never finish. So the perpetuity factor is what will help you. So you use perpetuity factor to do it. Are we there? We won't illustrate that. There is one more thing I want to illustrate. Like I told you, A is always simpler than what? B. And C is more difficult than what? B. The next thing I will teach you, if you understand it, you have solved at least 30% of your FR or FM. About 1,000. If we complete that using if we have it as 997.4, 900 and 987. I don't know what was the rate I used. 8%. For how much? 8% for 1,000. Perpetuity factor. Okay, so we have 1 divided by 0.8. We got 12.5. This is our perpetuity factor. Perpetuity factor. So the present value is equal to perpetuity factor times the cash flow. So this will be 12.5 times 1,000, and that will be 12,000. Is it 12,000? Yes, 12,500. Times the present value is equal to perpetuity factor times the cash flow. The cash flow is like the 1,000 naira here that we are expecting. Maybe let's do few. Let me not wish away certain things. So I'm saying that, or what I've said is that the present value, where perpetuity factor is concerned, the present value is equal to the perpetuity factor times the cash flow. Remember, when we did compounding, the future value is the compounding factor multiplied by the present value, which was the principal. You gave us 1,000 naira now. Presently, what will be the future value of that 1,000 naira? Assuming you have interest rate of so, we are able to get it. So compound factor multiplied by the principal, we got our future value. When you are discounting, your discount factor, your present value, when you are discounting, your present value is the future value or the cash flow multiplied by the discount factor. When we did annuity, it is our annuity factor multiplied by our cash flow. So now it is our under perpetuity, like same, it is also the perpetuity factor times the cash flow. So if assuming it is, we have rate of 8%, of course perpetuity is from now to forever, and we have cash flow of 1,000 naira. It will be perpetuity first. We have to get perpetuity factor, which is equal to 1 over R, which is equal to, since it is 8%, 1 all over 0.08. This is 8%. This is equal to 12.5. This is our perpetuity factor. Now we can go to get our present value, which is equal to perpetuity factor 12.5 multiplied by cash flow 1,000. This is equal to 12,500. Okay, let's work with 12%, please. No, let's work with 15%. People should do. So the same information, just that our rate is 15%. Cash flow is what? 1,000 naira. Do it. Yes, same cash flow, 1,000 naira. So do it. While we wait for only one question, now I will solve today. It's already 10:03. Next lecture will be here any moment. Ask me. Okay. Yeah. So what is the answer? Okay. So before she comes, let me say this. There is an inverse relationship between rate and value. There is an inverse relationship between what and what? Sorry. Inverse means if one thing is going up, the other one is coming down. So if the rate is going up, the value will be coming down. So higher rates will lead to lower value. Lower rates will lead to higher value. Higher rates will lead to lower value. Lower rates will lead to higher value. I'm just stylishly waiting for this lady that went out because I don't want her to miss the next thing I want to talk about. Then we take a question. It should be correct. It should be okay. She actually went out to follow up and direct a new person, a newcomer, a newcomer to the class. Okay. Welcome, madam. Good morning. Good morning.